something funny. And I just beamed, you know. I'd be running around laughing and dancing and telling funny stories and acting like Charlie Chaplin and doing whatever else. And then my parents got divorced. And everything changed, very dramatically, as a matter of fact. And I can remember standing in the doorway, and my father had his suitcase. Not that we were extraordinarily close, because that didn't really happen. But I will never forget this incident of him leaving the house, which has been a lifelong issue for me, one of abandonment, feeling left behind, especially by a man. Now, I'm going to reincorporate that later, and just to let you know how that often attaches itself to us, and we try to find the father we never have, and sometimes we marry them thinking they're going to parent us. So there we are. We move away. We go to Hempstead. We're living in Hempstead, and by the way, my grandparents moved in with me and with us, and they were always sort of the standard bearers for devotion towards me, and nurturers, and they always made bread for me, little bread, and that's how I would amuse myself, putting little sesame seeds on the bread. You think we had toys? You know, they would say, "Here, make a piece of bread. Here's some dough. Amuse yourself." And my mother would say, "Go out and play. Come back later." We didn't have play dates, because they thought you were smart enough to play by yourself. And see, I've always been a self-amuser. That's one of the constants in my life. I cannot understand how people cannot self-amuse. When people say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm bored." Oh, aren't you stupid? There must be something missing inside of you. You've lost your inner clown. Where is it? Right? But that's just my take on it. Now, my stepfather was a rather strange individual. He would be very quiet, very quiet, very quiet, and then he would go berserk. So he was like a pterodactyl. Now, the other part that's been a constant in my life has been my sense of humor. And often people will ask me, "Well, where did you get your sense of humor?" And I said, "Well, I was a breech birth. Once you come out assways, you're never the same." That's just the way I see the world. That's just it, see? And so what would I do with that sense of humor? All the insanity that started to be part of my life became a part of what I would do in school. I would make a sitcom out of the insanity at home, because they were really going at it to beat the band. I mean, they would have arguments, they would throw pots and pans. I mean, you were walking through a minefield. Every day you didn't know what was going to happen. And so then I would go to school and imitate them. And so what is that? That's a strength, isn't it? See, everybody has strengths. Humor became my strength, even when it was probably inappropriate, because I didn't address things the way I needed to, because I didn't have anybody to address them with. So what happened? I became anxious. I started having panic attacks. And I would wake up in the middle of the night as a little kid, and my heart would be racing, racing, racing. And I would go, "Oh, my God, how am I going to, I don't know what this is." Who the heck knew what a panic attack was? I didn't. So then I'd make fun of that. And, if you read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and you read how in the depths of the concentration camps, people actually used humor to be able to get through the most horrific instances. And he calls it the soul's preservation. And what I see women having in common is humor. We know how.